Hello, humans. You've just stepped into my world. I am Lucifer, your demon king, and maybe, just maybe, you'll meet me the next second. They say you fear the dark, but the dark fears me. Every nightmare you've ever buried, I've fed on it. Every scream you've ever choked back, I've heard it echo through my halls. Tonight, I open the gates you pretend don't exist. Tonight, you walk with me through shadows that whisper your name. Don't bother to run, don't even bother to hide, because once you're here, you're mine. I will show you places forgotten by God, villages that breathe curses, forests that swallow the living, secrets so old even death avoids them. So keep your eyes open or close them, it won't matter. Welcome to your worst nightmare. Welcome to my kingdom.
Today, you pitiful humans are graced by my presence. I am Lucifer, your demon king. I am dragging you into the haunted forests of Uttarakhand, a place too cursed for your fragile minds. Walk behind me if you can keep up. But remember, not everyone I take inside gets to walk out alive. Deep in the forests of Uttarakhand, where sunlight never truly touches the ground, lies a path hidden from the maps and minds of the living. They say the trees whisper secrets if you stand still long enough to listen. Sometimes you will hear footsteps that aren't yours, soft, crunching leaves in the mist behind you. No matter how far you walk, the forest keeps pulling you deeper, where the shadows remember your name.
Long before concrete roads reached these woods, villagers gathered here under the cover of moonless nights. A black stone altar, blood smeared on rocks, bones scattered at the base of silent idols. They offered life for protection, or so they believed. But the forest does not bargain. It collects its debts in whispers and screams you never hear it.
Hidden among tangled vines and rotting roots stands an idol no one dares to name aloud, Kali Madhun. Hollow eyes carved from stone, a crown of skulls balanced on cracked stone hair. Her hands, forever marked with red prints from centuries of blind devotion. Some say she was never a goddess at all, but hunger given form, a spirit that feeds on secrets, lost souls, and the courage you think you still have.
The first to vanish was not a villager, but a man in uniform, a British officer chasing rebels through terrain he thought he could command. Fog swallowed his footsteps within minutes. They found his boots days later, polished but empty. The locals say if you stand where he disappeared, you can still hear him calling out, not for help, but for forgiveness. In 2019, 5 urban explorers with cameras and great courage stepped beyond the village signs. They laughed at stories about a cursed trail and ghosts in red cerise. They planned to stream every scream, every shadow, every great thrill. They didn't plan for the hush that fell when they crossed the final thread tied between the trees, a hush even the birds obeyed. The deeper they walked, the stranger the forest became. Trees marked with smeared red handprints, symbols no book could translate. Each trunk felt warm, as if it had been touched moments ago. One of them joked it was tribal art, but his voice cracked when they found his name scratched on a branch he'd never touched.
When the sun should have risen, the fog thickened instead, parting only when it wanted them to see. Half-buried hearts, straw roofs rotting under centuries of ash. A giant banyan tree spread its roots like black veins across the clearing, bones tangled in the earth. The explorers realized the village hadn't been lost at all, it had been waiting.
She turned, and the forest went silent, eyes hollow yet seeing everything, mouth stretched impossibly wide in a grin that knew too much. No scream came from the explorers. The forest swallowed it whole. One blink, and her grin was the last thing, burned into their camera's memory card. Panicked feet stumbled back through roots and fog, but the path bent in circles, the same trees, the same symbols, the same handprints. The compass they trusted spun without rest. Mira looked away for just one heartbeat, and never turned back up on the footage. The forest likes to keep souvenirs. Her friends found her at dawn, hanging upside down from the old banyan. Symbols burned into the bark above her, the same they'd mocked hours ago. Blood dripped onto bones older than any of them could imagine. The forest stayed quiet, but in that silence, something listened and it smiled. Deeper still, At last she stumbled upon what should never be seen. A temple carved from black stone. No doors, no windows, just a yawning mouth of darkness. Vines like veins strangled its walls. Bones littered its entrance like a warning no one had heeded. Inside, they found nothing but the sound of their own heartbeat until that faded. Inside the black temple, torchlight danced over stone walls covered in names scratched deep into the rock. Old names, new names, names that sounded too familiar. In the center, an altar of cold stone, and upon it, the camera still recording, pointed at them. A voice on the wind whispered a name that hadn't yet been written. Theirs. When only Rhea remained, she ran through rotting huts and ghostly alleyways. She thought she saw lights, hope, maybe, but the villagers were there instead, pale, silent, staring with eyes that didn't blink. Behind them, the woman in red stood waiting, her grin widening as if to welcome her home. At dawn, a trucker spotted a barefoot girl walking the empty highway that cuts through the forest's edge. Ash streaked her skin, her eyes wide, her mouth whispering things no one could understand. She never told what she saw, but when the wind blows through Uttarakhand's forests, some swear you can still hear her footsteps behind you, if you dare to listen.
Some say the lost village was just a story. Yet every year, someone disappears into those woods, leaving nothing but footprints behind. If you ever find yourself driving through Uttarakhand at night, and you hear a woman whisper your name in the wind, don't look back. If you crave stories that follow you into your dreams, stay with us. Subscribe if you dare.